Hello and welcome to Double B's Garage. If you like what you see today, please click subscribe and the like button. We're looking to get more followers. We're just starting this channel and hopefully we can bring you some amazing content. Today, you will learn what not to do, or at least you'll learn from me what not to do. Some people say the best advice you can take is the advice you give others. And in this case, I did not do that. People call me all the time and they're looking to buy cars. They're looking to see the value of their car. They're looking to look at a car and they want me to come with them to see maybe if it's a worthwhile deal or something that they should maybe purchase. And I always recommend getting a pre-purchase inspection, which is a PPI. I did not do that on this car. I kind of took the dealer's word for it. We were in a lot of phone calls, discussions with them. A couple things to list. No AC, did not work when I got it. They told me the car had 100% paint protection and about 60% of the car was paint protection, but it was 10 years old in yellow. It was terrible. And actually, upon removal of some of the paint protection, it took the paint with it in the front fender area. There was also some issues with some oil leaks and some other things that I've addressed. Paint being the main thing. The car has been relatively taken care of. There was a pretty significant service before I bought the car, and over the years it had all the major stuff done to it, so that's good. A lot of these things are very difficult to work on. The car in question is this one. It is a 2008 Lamborghini Murcielago Roadster LP640. The reason why the cover is on is because I'm done. I've been working on this car for about 3 or 4 months, and we leave in 3 days to Monterey Car Week, which is going to be super exciting. We're going to have a bunch of content from there. We're doing a lot of cool stuff. One of the things that's going to happen is this car on Friday is going to be shown at Quail, a motorsports gathering. It's a wonderful car show. The car over there, which you'll see later, was actually shown there a couple of years ago, and then this is going to be shown there this year. So we are in the present right now. I'm going to take you back in the past and show you some snippets and videos of things that I had to do on the car and some of what the car looked like apart. A really helpful video that you'll see is the air conditioner condenser or compressor replacement. That was about a 20-hour job. It was terrible to do and took a lot of time. Fortunately for me, I have the tools and somewhat of the know how to do it, and I kind of fumbled my way through it, but I had some help from some other people, and obviously the forums online are always very helpful. But in this video, at least you will see what not to do in some of the mistakes that I made in regards to why I should have got a pre-purchase inspection. I did get a really good deal on this car. I still think I got a really fair deal, and I'm very happy with that. But there was a lot of things that I didn't realize, and until the car arrived to me, and after a few days getting into the car, I started to realize what was wrong. But now she is ready to go. She is in a little slumber right here. Maybe we should talk quieter so we don't wake her. But it's going to be an epic time in Monterey, and I hope to bring you guys a lot of content. It just got back from paint. This actually was coming off right here, so I put new rivets in with larger washers just to accommodate this plastic, and then put some gasket maker on there to kind of look like it does from factory. You'll see on this side it's got like a kind of a gasket maker material. They do it around the frame as well up in these areas. Take a walk back here further to the vehicle. One of the things that I had to replace was the power steering lines and I don't know if you can see that very well, but that is the line that goes into the block that raises and lowers the car. It's the distribution block for the power steering fluid. That had been leaking and never addressed. The other thing was when I got the car, I realized that all the CV joint boots on the passenger side of the rear diff were loose, like 4 or 5 threads out. And that is why the CV joint boot grease was flying everywhere from the backside of those bolts where it made it up to the surface. Otherwise, the car's in really, really good shape. It's got full service history. Before I had purchased the car, it had about a $35,000 service. And now, with the paint being all brand new, I had them re-epoxy the air ducts in here, which were kind of loose from factory. This bumper appears to have been painted at one point in time in its life, so that had been taken off. I took off all the wheel liners, which I still need to clean, and then these are the side skirts, front carpeting, some other stuff. And so just wanted to update you. Everything back together except for the hood ornament. Got the new camera on down low. I got to put the skid plates on, all the headlights, the front bumper, the mirrors, the rear deck on with the spoiler. Taillights all done. rim over here. And then this is the side skirt in the back. This one right here connects with a couple screws, and then underneath there is bolts for the oil cooler. The oil cooler itself actually floats after this comes off along with the side skirt. So what I did is I zip tied the oil cooler when I went to the body shop so that it wasn't rattling around and stuck in place, so to speak, with the oil lines, even though it's pretty sturdy. They have to buff and polish the side skirts. There's a couple odds and ends that they need to take care of that they didn't get done when they were there. Inside here is the interior. As you can see, it's like a dark navy blue. So need to be cleaned up a little bit, and everything else is done. So thanks for looking in. I will update again once it's getting PPF'd, and after the body shop, I'm gonna use probably 2 rolls of blue tape to drive this thing to the body shop, just so I don't get any stone chips on the way, even though it's only a few miles. I just don't want to trailer it again. Another update. The Murcielago looks a little tall right now. That's because it's on ramps and the front lift system is still up. It helps me get the lift underneath it to lift the car up. Just got it back from a full PPF. Also, the windshield had Exo Shield put on it to protect against stone chips. But my problem is I'm blowing fuses for the AC system. They're a 10 amp fuse, and the minute I put a 10 amp fuse in, I go about 4 miles down the road, and guess what happens? The fuse blows. So with research online, this most likely is a compressor. I was able to buy a compressor online, I think from a company in France. It came in about 1 week, and this is the compressor right down here that we're getting at. We have to remove it. This system is already straight piped. All of the exhaust is gone out of this Murci. I did that the minute I bought it. Still passes smog fine because it's after the catalytic converters. So we are stripping the car down to get to the AC compressor. We're gonna lift the car up just to make sure we have full access to it. The panels are off. Even though Monterey is beautiful weather, I live in the Valley of California. It's a little warm on the way over, a little warm on the way back. And while you're over there stuck in traffic, the sun's beating down on you, you need some AC. I'm having to remove the power steering lines because the power steering pump, which is right behind this yellow rag right here, you can kind of see it's attached to what looks to be similar to a rag joint on a power steering or a steering shaft in a car, attaches to the back of this flywheel out of the motor. And this power steering pump behind the rag and this AC compressor all share this big mount that goes around and actually bolts in. Let me get a better angle. Bolts in right there, right on the top of the screen to the back of the rear differential. So I'm having to remove the lines because I'm guessing, or anticipating at least, that this power steering pump is gonna come out as an assembly with the AC compressor. And that won't happen, or won't be able to take place unless these lines are gone. So I sucked out the fluid with an extractor out of the power steering pump reservoir. And now I'm draining the line, which attaches to that reservoir, and then I will take the high pressure line, which is right here, and goes down and attaches to the pump right there. I'll take that off next and drain that, and then be able to detach the pump from the pulley, which will allow me to remove all of this stuff out. Now the system has already been extracted, so there should be nothing left in the system from a Freon standpoint. I was able to remove the air compressor, or the AC compressor with the bracket on it around the power steering pump without removing the power steering pump. Removing the lines were key. As you can see, it allowed you to twist it and manipulate it around, but it's on that rag joint, which is similar to what I spoke about earlier, similar to like what you find on a steering arm coming out of a firewall to go down to the steering box on a car. It's very flexible, and it allows you to arc and rotate and move the pump out of the way to help get that bracket off as a full assembly. In hindsight, there's a heat shield over on this left side, which I'll show you. That heat shield could have stayed on. Originally, I tried to remove the heat shield, which sits kind of on the side of the compressor like this, and I tried to remove it from underneath, and I couldn't get to it because it mounts to the outside of that bracket, which goes under this. I'll show a picture of what it looks like in the bracket, but I'm gonna assemble this into the bracket. I will then put the heat shield back on, tighten that all the way down, and then actually put that back into the car as one unit. You do not need to remove this heat shield. It ended up being such a pain. I was going to notch this so I could slide it over and out of the screw, but there was really no good way to get to it. So I never ended up doing that, and I'm glad I didn't, because now I can mount it back on correctly. Well, I hope you enjoyed what you saw. Some of the videos, I'm learning to do this, right? I'm learning to hear my own voice on camera. I'm not really great at holding the camera sometimes. I'm not really sure what to film, what not to film. So some of the content's a little broken up, but I really appreciate you guys looking and supporting the channel. Again, hit subscribe if you like what you see. If you have any questions on the Lamborghini, part numbers, all that kind of stuff, I'll try to put a lot of that in the video in the description so you can say, okay, if I was to replace this, this is what I would buy. A lot of parts from Lamborghini are super expensive, and there's also cross references. For example, the AC compressor for this car I found in France, and it was a lot less expensive than what you would have paid from Lamborghini. The air conditioner, or excuse me, the alternator, you can actually buy from a 2002 Volkswagen EuroVan for about $165. If you asked for the alternator from Lamborghini, I think you'd be pretty shocked at what that cost. And a lot of reason is why people don't own these cars, because the maintenance is so expensive. But if you can do it yourself, you spend the time to DIY and get dirty, and also find online other resources that people have already figured out, like the air conditioning compressor and the alternator. Those are things that I did not figure out. It's things that I found out online through the forums of all of the information that people post in the community, and how people are able to work on these cars and actually maintain them for a relatively inexpensive cost. So again, thank you for watching.